Weak grip, strong grip, it's time to learn which grip is right for you. Starting with a weak grip, which is where the logo will look at the target, right hand's more on top. Typically, this will orientate the face into more of an open position going back. So for a beginner golfer who does not have a lot of body rotation, that might be good, right? Because as their body doesn't rotate, we might see higher rate of closure through the impact zone. So by having it a little bit more open from the grip in the backswing, it might potentially help offset that. A better player with a weak grip will typically bow the lead wrist in the backswing, which will help square the face up. Typically, better players will have much better body rotation, so that square club face, like Jon Rahm, with a lot of body rotation is a good matchup. If you have a lot of body rotation, you can't have an open face. That ball is going to go too far to the right. One of the downsides to the weak grip is the weaker the attachment, the less you can actually hinge the club, minimizing the amount you can load the wrist through the transition. So if you're trying to increase club head speed, or your goal is to swing the club as fast as you can, this is not the recommended grip. However, we do see this from a lot of competitive golfers, as it is a way to minimize rate of closure issues into the follow through. The opposite side, a strong grip where the hands sit on the backside of the shaft, that's going to orientate the face into much more of a closed position. This grip is not one that we see as much on the PGA Tour, but we see much more in the long drive world. Because the face is gonna be much more orientated towards a closed position, that's gonna require a lot more body rotation through the shot to prevent that toe from closing too quickly. So it's a way to minimize rate of closure or control the club face. The other reason a lot of long drive guys will use this is because of the added benefit of being able to actually increase the amount of wrist set. So a weak grip, you can see how much wrist set I can have. A strong grip, it now opens up much more range of motion to load that lever. The difference of a strong grip is if we have a strong grip and we actually bow that wrist in the backswing, like we did with the weak grip, now that face becomes too close. So a strong grip is going to take the cup that we have at address and try to maintain that much longer into the backswing and through the transition. The strong grip with a little bit of cup in the lead wrist is ultimately how we can prevent that face from getting too close in the backswing. The first thing we want you to do is identify what your goals are. If you are someone who is trying to compete in long drive, you're probably gonna have a tough time using a weak grip because of how much range of motion you're giving up. The second thing is we wanna look at how much body rotation you have. If you are a player that from the top creates a lot of body rotation, you probably don't wanna have too weak of a grip in the backswing. The face will be too open. If you're someone that doesn't rotate good, then that weaker grip open face relationship might be much better for yourself. And lastly, we want to identify what your lead wrist does in the backswing. If you're a golfer who bows the wrist, having a strong attachment will probably not support that. If you're a golfer that cups the lead wrist in the backswing, you probably don't want to have a weak grip at the start. So understanding these principles, this should allow you to find a grip that works for your goals. My recommended opinion is to start at neutral and then deviate whatever way you're trying to go. Personally, my grip sits somewhere in the neutral to strong side of the spectrum. So it's, I'd say, just a little bit on the strong side, but not super strong as some of these guys like Martin Borgmeier and Kyle Berkshire. The reason is my lead wrist works a little bit more bowed in the backswing. So if I went too strong, that face would get too close for me to manage. If you enjoyed this video, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to like that video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and check out hitbombs.com for more awesome content like this.